It's been a couple of months since we did my Carbine tier list for Planetside 2, and among the feedback, the loudest I heard from you, the community, was regarding my placement of the T5 AMC, a Terran Republic Carbine that trades the quintessential Terran Republic trait of rate of fire for being laser accurate. I slammed the weapon and jammed it in the E tier alongside the CB200, and I tell you, no one batted an eye for the poor old CB, but for the T5, oh my word, I stirred the hornet's nest. So, g'day there once again viewers, your mate Kamikaze78 here, and today we answer the question, was I too harsh on the T5 AMC? Right, so truth be told, I was pretty shocked when I saw the unanimous support for the T5 AMC in the comment section of that video after a while. Of all the placements, of all of the weapons that we put in certain tiers, I didn't think that that would be the controversial one, but here we are. You see folks, the T5 AMC went into E tier on a similar note as to why the likes of the T16 Rhino and the T32 Bull went into E tier on the LMG tier list. They were both laser accurate weapons, and that is points in their favor, yes, but when you sacrifice all of a weapon's damage output in favor of accuracy, you also sacrifice a weapon's skill ceiling and leave it incapable of growing with you as a player to a certain point. A weapon with the quote-unquote optimal time to kill and a more difficult recoil to control is always going to provide more opportunity to a good player in the long run, because with practice, that weapon will become more optimal and more useful to that good player in due time. Weapons like the T5 AMC are optimal out of the box thanks to their ease of use and their characteristics when it comes to recoil, but you can't really practice with the weapon to make it much better than it already feels on day one. You somewhat hit that threshold of optimal performance almost immediately if you know how to at least somewhat aim and at times click some heads. Which again is great for ease of use and great for just picking up and having fun with, but again, that does hurt the weapon's ability to carry your skills into battle with more confidence as time goes on. However, a certain weapon by the name of the NS11C made it into the C tier of that tier list as well. For those who don't know, the NS11C is effectively a jack of all trades of the Carbine world. You know, numerous attachment selections, incredibly reliable in most distances, but also sacrifices a significant amount of damage to achieve that jack of all trades role. In fact, it sports an identical maximum damage and rate of fire combo that you see on the T5 AMC, so the weapons are actually pretty similar as far as their raw damage output's concerned. Now, many do swear by the NS11C due to its adaptability, and truth be told, I've been known to enjoy it from time to time myself. It's an extremely easy weapon to turn your brain off and just sort of vibe out with, and something that it also has under its sleeve that's actually relatively uncommon in the Carbine world is a 0.75 times aiming down sights movement multiplier, which gives it some prowess back in CQC due to faster movement while aiming down the sights. But Cami, I thought this video was about the T5 AMC, why are you talking about the NS11C? Well, many of you drew issue to the fact that a weapon like the NS11C could make it into the C tier, where the T5 AMC was placed into E tier while being incredibly similar in nature. But after reading all the comments and looking into things again, you guys might have a point here. You see folks, the big dickhead that I am made a bit of a mistake and completely forgot that the weapon, the T5 AMC that is, got some love in the Arsenal update back in March of last year. And since then, it's actually gotten even more love in the 10-year anniversary update. Now, at the time of making this video, the T5 AMC has a minimum damage model of 125 instead of 112 at its minimum damage range, meaning that it now only drops 1 damage tier as opposed to 2, which is actually relatively rare in the Carbine world. The T5 AMC has also had a pretty neat decrease to its reload speed, especially in the long reload department, meaning that if you do tend to empty the magazine, it's not that big a deal anymore. But most importantly, and this is a combination of changes here, it had its weapon recoil angle completely abolished, which means that it no longer has a consistent left or right hand side pull on its recoil pattern. I don't remember what direction it was now, but it was a 20-degree pull to either the left or the right, one of the two. It also had its aiming down sights movement multiplier increased to 0.75 times, and its moving cone of fire aiming down sights accuracy buffed to be more consistent as well. All of these changes, alongside the boost to the long range damage it received most recently, makes the weapon an incredibly mobile, yet accurate laser beam of a carbine. While I'm not the best player out there, I consider myself to be a relatively good shot, and quite frankly, headshots at basically any distance I could throw this thing at were easy as hell to achieve, and that was while I was strafing from time to time. And yes, this weapon still suffers from the quote-unquote skill ceiling issue that we discussed earlier in the video. That's just inherent from its design philosophy and how the weapon sits in the grand scheme of things and just what its role is in the arsenal. But it definitely has a stronger presence against the rest of the arsenal now with these updates. It's now a much more mobile weapon without sacrificing accuracy, and that gives it a much stronger presence than what an E-tier listing suggests. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, having spent some more time looking at this weapon in preparation for this very video, I gotta be honest, I did this weapon dirty originally. No, it will never be my first pick out of the entire arsenal for the TR carbines, but I definitely caught myself having fun with the T5 AMC. When I put this video idea in my content release calendar that I've got behind the scenes here, I didn't expect that this would be the end result, right? I thought I'd be leaving this video by saying, nope, I stick to my guns, the T5 AMC is still a hot steaming piece of crap and no one should ever look at picking it up. But here I am, and I'm willing to admit that, yep, I was wrong. I was very, very wrong about this gun. And looking at it now and directly comparing it against the likes of the NS11C, there's actually a lot to like here comparatively for the TR soldiers, especially with that damage buff in the minimum damage department. It makes the NS11C actually a weaker long-range option against the T5 AMC, but the T5 AMC still keeps all the mobility features that the NS11C gets. And it even gets a slightly bigger magazine, but that also does come at the cost of a reload speed debuff. So looking at this weapon again, and looking at it retrospectively through the lens of a tier list review, if you will, I'd be confident in putting the T5 AMC into a low to mid C tier rating. It's definitely a lot stronger than what it was when I first reviewed it, and definitely will get some more playtime from me in the future going forward, but we should also keep our reality in check here and understand that, well, this weapon is still no Track 5 or, you know, even an LC2 Lynx or anything like that. No chance whatsoever. But folks, with all that said, I want to hear your thoughts now on the T5 AMC. If you've had a chance to use it, do you think this weapon is fitting of a C tier rating, or do you still think it's hot garbage and should never see a purchase from a Planet Man ever again? If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to backhand the like button, as it does go a long way to support the channel. If you're new here, consider subscribing as well. It keeps you up to date with all live streams we run here on the channel, which again is all done on YouTube, and it keeps you up to date with all videos we have coming out soon. And with all the games that we're covering at the moment, we've got a lot of content in the pipeline. Once again, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Peace out, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Take care, guys. Have a good one.